Hello everyone, welcome back to the Scene Stream. Today we are diving into Revenge 2017, a brutal survival thriller. Three wealthy CEOs head to the desert for their annual hunting trip, but when one brings his young mistress, things spiral into violence. Left for dead, she rises, wounded, furious, and out for blood. Now the hunters become the hunted. Stay tuned for the full breakdown. The story begins as a vast wilderness unfolds. No humans in sight. A helicopter appears, carrying Richard and his girlfriend, Jennifer, who are vacationing here. After landing, Richard arrives at his secluded home, a beautiful retreat he built in the wilderness. This is Jennifer's first visit. He plans to stay with her briefly before his friends arrive to hunt across the terrain. The timing is ideal for the hunt. As they exit, the pilot hands Richard a package of intoxicating substances, a complimentary gift for guests to enhance their stay. The couple enters the house. Inside, Richard's gaze lingers on Jennifer. Her striking beauty overwhelms him, and he perceives her attempts to seduce him. Losing control, he becomes intimate with her. Later that evening, Richard receives a call. While on the phone, it's revealed he's married with a wife and children. He told his wife he was here solely for hunting. She asks how the trip is progressing, and he claims his friends will arrive soon to begin. As they talk, it becomes clear Richard is lying to both his wife and Jennifer. Subtle hints suggest Jennifer may only be with him for his wealth. Richard is affluent and indulges her every desire. The next morning, Jennifer wanders the house. Eventually, she heads to the kitchen for water. Turning with her glass, she freezes. Two men stand before her. Richard's arrived early, despite his instructions to come days later. The men stare pointedly at Jennifer, noticing her scant clothing. Richard enters moments later. His mood darkens. He'd planned to send Jennifer away before their arrival to hide the affair. Now exposed and powerless, he orders the men to stay put. Their names are revealed, Stan and Dimitri. Richard confronts them as Jennifer attempts to leave. Stan's gaze remains fixed on her. He can't look away. By evening, the group gathers outside. Stan continues to watch Jennifer. Meanwhile, Dimitri scans the surroundings with binoculars. His gaze lands on the drugs the pilot left behind. He asks about them, and Richard explains their potency. A trace amount induces madness and hallucinations. He recounts how a spec once drove a football team insane. One player severed his own leg, numb to the pain. We should stay away from this drug, Richard warns. And flees inside, concealing it in her locket for later. She eventually reappears, dancing seductively before the group. The men watch intently, particularly Stan, who's longed to see her this way. She beckons him closer. Stan joins her in the two dance together, lost in the moment. The next morning, as Jennifer wakes, she steps outside and sees Stan still there. He brings her to the breakfast table, slowly touching her and says tenderly, "I made breakfast for you." Later, she asked where Richard is. Stan replies that he's gone out. Stan keeps pressing his advances, but Jennifer sees through him. She tells him, "I'm going to my room. I don't want breakfast," and heads inside. As she undresses, Stan enters. She realizes he won't leave easily. They step outside and sit. Stan edges closer. "Stay away from me," she warns. "Why?" he asks. "Because you're not my type." "I don't like men like you," she replies. Stan retorts, "Why didn't you say this last night? You were dancing so close to me." It felt like you really liked me. I hate girls who play games, provoking you and then leaving you hanging. You can't just leave me like this. She tries to stop him, but Stan won't relent. He moves closer, intent on raping her. Just then, Dimitri arrives and watches them. Stan snaps. Why are you staring? Go sit outside. I'll finish and join you. Dimitri steps out, hearing Jennifer's screams as he goes. He turns up the TV volume to drown them out. Later, Richard returns. Entering the hall, he sees his friend sitting silently and senses something's wrong. What happened? He asks. Stan admits there's been some trouble with Jennifer. Richard goes to her room. She's crying. What happened? He asks. Call the helicopter now. I want to leave, she demands. He tries to calm her, but she's adamant. Get the helicopter so I can go. Understanding what's occurred, Richard steps outside and yells at his friends, cursing them. Jennifer falls asleep. When she wakes, Richard is there. Everything will be fine, he says, handing her a paper. I've transferred a lot of money to your account. Don't worry, I've spoken to them. They'll apologize and you'll have no more trouble. But Jennifer no longer cares about money. Call the helicopter now. I don't want anything. I want to leave. I don't want your money, she insists. Richard tries to stop her, but she shouts. If you don't send me home now, I'll call your wife and tell her everything. Furious, he slaps her. Now Jennifer fears him. Meanwhile, his friends see her run outside with Richard chasing her. They follow. She keeps running, the three in pursuit for a long time. Finally, she hits a dead end, unable to escape further. Everyone's scared. Richard says, if you want to go home, I'll send you now. I'm sorry I slapped you. You shouldn't have involved my family. Go home if you want. He calls the pilot. Bring the helicopter now. And pushes her. She falls off a cliff, a broken tree piercing her stomach. His friends are stunned by what he's done. Richard was terrified, afraid she'd tell his wife everything. He has a family he doesn't want to destroy. Knowing no one would care if she died here, he ended it all. Stan yells, "Are you mad? What have you done?" Richard replies, I had to. If she'd left, she'd have sued us all for rape. We'd all go to jail, our lives ruined. This is best for us. Returning, they burn her things and gather hunting gear, planning to hunt first, then clean up to erase her traces. On the other side, ants crawl over Jennifer's body to eat her flesh. Suddenly, she regains consciousness. She's alive. The branch pierced her side, not her center. She's okay but can't move. Spotting her lighter, which she always carries, she slowly pulls it and sets the branch ablaze. It shifts and she falls. Hearing their vehicles, she realizes they're coming. Crawling away to hide, the branch still in her stomach, she can't walk but conceals herself below. Richard looks down from above but doesn't see her body. Panicking, his condition worsens. Someone saved her or she escaped, he says. His friends don't believe it. No one survives that fall. We'll go down, he insists, though it'll take time via another route. As their vehicles depart, Jennifer sees her chance to escape and keeps running. Night falls as Richard and his friends descend. She's nowhere in sight and they're at a loss. Richard spots her blood stains everywhere she fled. They follow the trail until it stops at a lake. Spread out and search, he orders. She can't be far. Stan, scared, refuses to go alone and sits in the vehicle. Richard and Dmitri set out. Jennifer, still fleeing to save herself, is in bad shape. She knows stopping means death. Spotting Dmitri, she hides underwater, holding her breath. He roams, then stops to urinate. Emerging, she sees her chance. His rifle is down. She grabs it, aiming at him. Calm down, he says, but she won't relent. Pulling the trigger, she finds it empty. Dmitri attacks, knocking her down. I knew you were near, so I left the gun to lure you, he taunts, informing his friends. I've got her. I'm bringing her. Before that, he tortures her, dunking her in water. Spotting his knife, she grabs it, stabbing his eyes and face repeatedly. Dmitri's dead. The others don't know. Taking his things, she runs but doesn't get far. Her bike's fuel runs out. She hides in a cave in agony, unable to move well. She must remove the branch. Lying down, she sees her locket, recalling the hidden drug and its power. Eating it, she waits. Soon, voices fill her head. The drug's working. Her stomach pain fades. With a knife, she cuts open a tin can, removes the branch, and blood gushes out. Heating the tin, she presses it to her stomach, stopping the bleeding completely. Exhausted, she faints. Morning comes. Hits the glass, startling him awake. Richard arrives, saying, I hunted it to wake you. This isn't funny. Where's Dmitri? Stan asks. I don't know, Richard replies. Washing his face at the lake, Stan sees Dmitri's waterlogged body and screams. Richard joins him, realizing Jennifer killed him. Dmitri's last words were that he'd found her. They pull out the body, tossing it deeper to erase it. We need to kill her fast, Richard says, punching Stan. This is your fault. If you'd gone with him instead of sitting here, he'd be alive, and she'd be dead. Jennifer awakens. Her wound healed from burning it. No bleeding. A can sticker with a bird clings to her stomach. Gathering her things, she sets out to hunt those who did this. Exiting the cave, she sees Richard with a gun. He shoots. She jolts awake. It was a drug-fueled dream, recurring often. Regaining her senses, she knows her purpose. Kill them to escape alive. She grabs everything and hunts them down, no longer fleeing but seeking. Richard and Stan are in the wilderness. You go that way, I'll go this way, Richard says, leaving. Stan cleans his bleeding nose in the mirror. Jennifer searches with binoculars, spotting the glass's reflection. They're there. She watches. Stan drives off, unaware she's targeting him. She follows. His fuel runs out. He stops and steps out. She aims, wanting a fatal shot, but she's never fired before. Aiming at his head, she hits his shoulder and falls. Standing, she tries again. Stan's gone. Near the car, she sees only blood and follows it to his shoe. Behind her, Stan aims his rifle. His wounded shoulder weakens him, but he fires, missing her head, grazing her ear. Half her ear falls. She runs. He chases, limping without a shoe. Breaking a torch, she scatters glass. Stan steps on it, shards piercing his foot. He sits, unable to run, then returns, refueling and restarting his car. Spotting her ahead, he fires repeatedly, missing. As he nears, she hits him. He's dead. She drags his body out and sits in the car. Richard's voice crackles on the walkie-talkie. enriched, her last foe remains. She sets out. Richard returns to where he left Stan, calling him on the walkie-talkie with no reply. Frustrated, he sits, then decides to go home, still seething. He suspects Jennifer killed Stan and calls the helicopter, heading inside to bathe. Hearing a noise, he grabs his gun, thinking she's there. Searching the house, he finds nothing and sits on the sofa. Another sound. He grabs the gun, then realizes it's the TV. Standing, he sees Jennifer aiming at him. He knows he's trapped. Moving means death. She stares, then shoots him in the stomach. He falls, hiding behind the sofa, bleeding heavily. As she enters, he flees, blood trailing behind. She follows. Gun by the wall, ready to kill her. She advances but spots his blood trail ahead and retreats, circling around. Wrapping his wound with a food wrapper, he's shot from behind as she fires. He runs. She chases. Slipping on blood, she falls. He beats and strangles her. Choking, she recalls his stomach wound and presses it. He collapses. She grabs the gun and ends him with one shot, finishing her tormentor who tried to kill her. Jennifer clutches the gun, her breath ragged as the distant thrum of rotor blades cuts through the silence. She turns, eyes blazing. A helicopter glints on the horizon, her ticket to freedom. The screen fades to black, leaving her fate hanging in the balance. Enjoyed this wild ride? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Scene Stream for more epic recaps. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think she made it out alive? Thanks for watching.